Today's fairy tale is a French story from the woman who wrote the original Beauty and the Beast, and it is as twisted and weird and bizarre as that original story is. It's called Aurore and Aimee. There's an aristocratic lady who has two daughters named Aurore and Aimee. As is often the case, one is good and one is bad. Aurore, the older one, has good character, and Aimee, the younger one, is malevolent. When Aurore is 16 and Aimee is 12, the woman starts to lose her looks and doesn't want anyone to know she's old enough to have daughters of that age. So her solution is to send her older daughter Aurore out into the country and to move to another city with Aimee, and instead of telling people she's 12, she tells them she's 10 and that she was only 15 when she gave birth to her, so she's only 25. It works, but the mom is still afraid someone will figure out her trick, and so she has Aurore sent out into the forest, just maybe to die. Well, Aurore finds the cottage of this shepherdess, and the shepherdess takes her in and gives her some food, and Aurore laments her fate by blaming God. But then the shepherdess says, "Don't blame God. There will always be a reason for what he does, and something good will come out of this." Aurore, what was your old life like in the aristocracy? And she's like, actually, it was really dull and boring, and I was miserable all the time. So the shepherdess says, all right, I'm going to take you in and be your mom, and I'm going to teach you how to not be bored. Aurore starts working with her as a shepherdess, and she divides her day into prayer, work, reading, and walks, and she's happy because she's not bored. As the text says, she is no longer suffering from ennui. One day, a prince named Ingenue is in the forest hunting, and he comes across Aurore. They fall in love. He asks her to marry him, but she is a proper girl and says, we have to ask the shepherdess first. So they go to the shepherdess, and she gives her consent because she can tell by his character that he's going to make her a good husband. Ingenue leaves and get everything ready, saying, I'll come back for you in 3 days. The second day after he's gone, though, Aurore is tending to her sheep, and she falls into a big scratchy bush and scratches her face up. And she's like, oh my God, I'm not pretty anymore from these temporary scratches. So she tells the shepherdess, oh my God, what if he comes back and he doesn't want me? And the shepherdess, who is wise, says, girl, if he doesn't want you because of these scratches when he comes back, he would have been a terrible husband and you would have been unhappy with him anyway. And Aurore's like, yeah, that makes sense. Prince Ingenue's brother, Forbin, is the king of his country, and he is mean and cruel and awful. And when Ingenue tells him, hey, I met this beautiful girl in the woods, I'm gonna marry her, Forbin decides, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna marry her myself. He goes out, and when he sees her scratched up face, he's like, ew, my brother wants to marry this monster. And Aurore's like, yeah, look at the ring on my finger. And he's like, oh, I will punish him by making him marry you. So when Prince Ingenue comes back out, she's like, do you hate me and think I'm a monster because of my scratched up face? And he's like, no, you're just hurt. The shepherdess says, yep, I knew you were a good man, but guess what? I've got a lotion to cure her face. And so she puts lotion on her face and all the scratches go away. The two of them get married, and he lives with her out in the woods. Evil King Forbin, in the meantime, decides he wants to get married, so he orders portraits of all the ladies of the land sent to him, and he falls in love with Aurore's sister, Aimee. I mean, he doesn't fall in love, he just sees the picture and thinks she's hot. He marries Aimee, and hearing news of this makes Aurore a little nervous because she knows her sister is evil and will hurt her if she finds her. Well, she and Prince Ingenue have a child, and they name him Welcome. But one day they wake up and he's gone, he's disappeared, and they can't find him anywhere. Even amidst this horror, the shepherdess tells Aurore and Ingenue, don't worry, there must be a reason for this, it'll work out for the better. And of course, she's right. The next day, the king sends men out to kill their son. Turns out Forbin and Aimee can't have kids, and so they wanted to get rid of any other succession to the line. But since the son isn't there, they can't kill him. And so instead, they take the shepherdess, Ingenue, and Aurore and put them in a boat out to sea. As usual, they wash up on another kingdom. Here's where it gets extra wild. The king of that kingdom is at war. Ingenue offers to fight for the king, and he's such a badass fighter, he kills everyone and the enemy flees and they win the war. And so the king says, I want to adopt you and make you my son. So he gets to be a prince again in this other country. Well, 4 years later, evil King Forbin dies of grief because of the misery of being married to Aimee. The people also hate Aimee, and so they drive her out of the country and send a message to Prince Ingenue saying, please come back and be our king. So Ingenue heads back with the shepherdess and his wife, but on the way they get shipwrecked on a desert island. Again, seems like bad luck, but on that island they see a peasant woman with a little boy, and it turns out that's their son. Pirates had kidnapped him, and then the pirates had shipwrecked on that same desert island, and they all died, but the son survived, and this kind woman took care of him. They get reunited with Welcome. A ship comes by and takes them all, including the kind woman who helped out, back to the kingdom where Ingenue becomes king. And from that day on, Aurore never murmured any complaint at any misfortune because she knew those things which appear to us as evils are very often the occasions of our happiness. which I found to be true in life as well a lot of the time. As always, check out my book, Dust Spells, a reimagining of the 12 Dancing Princesses, and my podcast. All the links are in the bio.